we does this. First one is Scream. Ice Cream
Ice Cream.
By B2B and Deaton Chris Anthony, which is a very interesting mix. And
It's an interesting mix, and I didn't expect what I got from either of them in this song. It's basically just like a hyper pop jamboree.
pretty much, yeah, it was interesting because you can hear like B2B sound, I guess, in a way, because like you have your 90s grunge guitar and everything in there, but there's a lot of different weird sounds you got, especially like in the middle of the track. Just went kind of all over the place, which I am fine with because, as I said before, with B2B, I want her to try and do different stuff with different artists, and doing so, especially like with someone as eclectic as Deaton Chris Anthony is. That's an interesting mix, and I actually thought it paired very well. That's cool for the way it sounded, and it's just something that it's a nice break from the normal sound that we've been getting from B2B. And even Chris Anthony is one of those artists that I've slowly starting to enjoy more and more. Because remember the first time with his last album that we reviewed 2-3 years ago, I really did not like it, but it's one of those
Shake that
albums that
ass,
have
shake that
grown on
ass,
me.
shake that ass.
I shake that ass, I shake that ass. Really actually like that song. So, yeah, it's not bad. Interesting to see what
Sean warming up to
fans of
hyper pop.
B2B
I
thinks.
like
So.
that.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
I like hyper. I've told you this before. I actually like hyper pop. Some of it, if it's too hyper pop y, like if it's just too out there, then it's a bit much and kind of hard to listen to in a way. But I do think that that is a new sound that is starting to really make the rounds, as I said quite a few times on this fine established podcast. I think that's the sound of the future,
I
and
think
that is
we
the sound of the future.
I think we might be getting a new Biba Doobie thing in the next coming weeks, right?
I believe so. Yeah, this year for
Interesting.
sure. From what I've heard
Interesting.
from Dirty Hit,
Very interesting. All right.
the
Moving
the
on.
machine that is Dirty Hit. Moving on, we have Cash In, Cash Out by Pharrell, Tyler the Creator, and 21 Savage. And goddamn,
Great.
great. Pharrell as a producer is fucking absurdly good. Like he made one of my favorite Kendrick Lamar songs ever in Mr. Morale. That is like one of my favorite songs of this year. Such a simple beat, and this is
Which one is that
another one
again?
of those. Mr. Morale, at towards the end of Mr. Morale, the Big Steppers, it's like um it's where Kendrick goes off and goes hard, where he's like, it starts off where someone's like, "That was the worst performance I've ever seen," blah blah
Like the
blah,
actual
and
song
then
called Mr. Morale.
actual song, Mr.
Yes,
Morale. Yeah,
got you. Okay.
it's
I
like
just wanted
one
to
of my
clarify that for
favorite
the
Kendrick
audience and
songs
myself. Yeah.
ever, and it's produced by Pharrell. So good, and it's one of the scenes where I don't realize how good of a producer Pharrell is sometimes, but this is the year where I really get to see it. And Cash In, Cash Out's another one of those tracks. Tyler the Creator also is just phenomenal. Really, really starting to appreciate him as an artist. And 21 is just fucking 21.
His
And it's
versatility
actually
is
like,
amazing. I just want to
yeah,
say, like, I didn't think I would like go from I don't expect Tyler and 21 Savage to ever really work on anything unless it's like a movie tie-in ever
yeah,
to
me
I
too.
want to hear like a Mad Lib style, like I want to hear a
Oh,
40-minute
dude.
project from these guys. Tyler is so versatile.
Like, he is one of those artists, again, that have really grown and matured into someone who is genuinely good at art. Not not just like the musical aspect of it, but like the whole thing of creating Igor, creating a bunch of other things of his own different personas and everything, and really going off on his solo career and whatnot. And with that, it's just he has impressed me a ton. And 21 is just every fucking thing he's on is great. He puts in
Most
his
things.
work,
I was
and
definitely kind of lukewarm with that Drake feature that he most recently did.
I blame Drake. I blame Drake on that. But like I love this collaboration, and I want more from the three of them because I think they work very well together. Those are three very different sounding artists, but they put all their stuff together and you can get some brilliant work. Great track. I think a lot of people will enjoy it.
Agreed.
Then we have Cherry by Daphni. Daphni coming out. Oh
AKA
my god.
Caribou.
aka Caribou.
It's kind of
We
like
haven't had.
Caribou's clubbier alter ego. We talked about a
Yeah,
little bit. I
yeah, it's
want
like
to
the
say we did a
Sins with
Caribou
it's like Tori
bonus.
Ma with the Sins. It's like their little alter egos. Yeah. What do you say?
I want to say we did a Caribou bonus.
Yeah, we did
Yeah, we did.
before.
Episode 131. Because we did
Hundred
Tame
ago.
Impala and Caribou really close together that one time. And
Yeah,
we
that's right.
mentioned Daphni in
February
it.
of it was like 3 weeks before the world ate shit
Yeah, amazing.
because you had that was like February into March of 2020. You had Caribou, you had Tame Impala, and then you had the weekend,
It
and
was
then
like,
shit.
where this is going to be one of the best music years ever. Last 20 seconds of Uncut Gems. And
Yep,
so, anyways, this is kind of faster pace, again, clubby kind of
for
house
sure.
track, but takes kind of like the chimey upper, like, like upper tone, kind of like chimey
Yeah,
stuff you would hear from like a recent Caribou album. But rather than being with vocals, it's with keys.
yeah. It's good. I've been a fan of Daphne's work for a while, but it's nice to have another project coming in because the last thing we got was what album in 2016, 2017. Yeah, Johnny Mai in 2017, and it'd be interesting to see if we get a full release and everything this year, and hope so. Full LP would be nice, but I like it. I really like Cherry. It's it's one of those things where you have to like repetitive electronic music to really get it because that's what it is. But I love that shit. So
Well, as you know,
give me more.
Drake brought house music back, and he definitely brought repetitive house music back, single-handedly, might I add. So maybe there will be a little bit more space for Daphne, all thanks to Aubrey Graham and his amazing work at groundbreaking music. Oh man, I'm so upset I won't be able to do that debate with Caesar, but we'll have to reschedule it with the Drake stuff.
Oh
Anyways,
my god! I cannot wait for that. I will pay just to watch that.
anyways,
Yeah.
Jungle
Anyways,
by Fred again.
Jungle. Yeah,
Speaking of house.
straight up.
Yeah,
Uh,
so Fred again is someone that one of the ghost producers of Audioface, Kyle. I love there's an Audioface team now behind the scenes.
I know
But
it's beautiful.
he saw Fred again at Coachella this year and was basically just kind of blown away by his act. I saw him at Primavera and was really blown away. He's just
Oh, I
really
didn't know you saw
good
him
at
Primavera.
yeah. I
That's cool.
saw him on Sunday, one of the last days.
Oh
And
my god,
I love the way the song kind of like
it's
builds on a
great.
lot of the things he does. It's very emotional in the beginning, but like very quickly it turns into like a club dance like banger, like
Straight.
by the first like minute of the song. And it's really blends really nicely. It's like an emotional feeling in EDM that I feel like hasn't been emulated that well since that sort of like hypey typey era in 2013, where everything was just sort of like
Yep.
high pitched and terrible, where everything was going for these really played out bliss points, so to speak, right? I feel like Fred again gets that emotion out there in a way that sounds way fresher, way newer. And yeah, like it's a really good song. I think it's a sign of more good things to come from Fred again. So watch this space because Audioface officially likes this guy.
So I was trying to think of a way to describe it because it's not like deep house or anything like that, but it's definitely housing the way where like it mixes well with clubs, but it does this thing where I mean, kind of similar to what you're saying of where you get that hyphy typhiness, but it's done in a manner that feels genuine, in a manner that feels like it's fresh, it's new in a way, but it's pulling enough strings from a bunch of other older sounds that it still stays within its own boundaries.
Yeah,
Which is something that I like because it's not like overstaying its welcome. It's not anything where like you're not going to get tired of it in a way, and it's not something that is too in your face. It's just that perfect blend and perfect line between understated and overstated. And that's one thing that I think that is happening a lot in EDM is some people a lot of shit's just overstated. A lot of things are understated and we want to have that middle ground where you can have something where you could bop, you can have fun with and everything. And it could be played as background music or it could be played in the middle of a show and everybody's just off their tits blasted. So it's
And there's
that
variety to it within the
it's
song as well,
super
and
variety.
within the
Exactly.
production.
And that's what I love. And that's what I love about it. So yes, Fred again is definitely one of those, all right, this is right up our alley and something that has given me hope for electronic music again that I would genuinely like to see live. I would really like to see how it sounds and the rest of how his mixes and everything else is too. And go from there.
Well, shout out to Fortet who assisted in the production of that record, and in the
Oh, you
members
did?
yes, and in the members
Yeah.
portion of the podcast, we're going to talk about the end and our thoughts on the end of that saga that he had with Domino Recordings.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
he,
Fucking
yeah,
finally.
he solved a legal deal to prove a point. Mad respect, and so we can go into that in the members portion for sure. Anyways, that's all the singles. We have many more singles that we really want to get to. July and August are usually kind of it's either hit or miss after doing this for like 5 years or
Well,
so.
yeah, that other 1975, we're gonna have a single next week that we'll do, and
Jesus.
some other ones. So yeah,
Um,
it's time.
I I have a basically I have a rule now after 5 years. I guess we are admitting like Audioface rules. We'll have like 10 by the end of this year, honestly. But um y- generally I don't like to say what albums are coming next week because artists used to just flip around all the time and just like turn on a dime. So I just don't trust them anymore. But that being said, I'm going to do it anyways. Because what is Audioface but not breaking rules? Viagra Boys and Brent Fayez are on the rundown right now for next week, which is oh shit, oh shit. Anyways, um, so
She
continue
was
to
13.
remember to continue to support Audioface by going to audiofacesyndicate23.co. Check out Power Report, where Bam makes his glorious return. We're basically doing a play-by-play of some of the highlights from the January 6 hearings. Um, I went into it going, I saw it happen in slow motion. It was kind of like not a great day for me because I was like one of the people who was actually seeing and experiencing in real time. Of course, not the stuff in Washington, D.C., but I was going like, oh, there are people in DC that I know that could possibly be seriously injured because they're in, there's like congressional staffers or whatever, or journalists who cover that stuff, and they're in the Capitol building as it's being um, encouraged to be rioted by the former president of the United States. So I thought I knew everything. There are things from the stuff that I am learning that is pretty wild to say the
Wild.
least. And Bam's gonna break that down with me. Check out that PowerPoint episode. Want to advertise with Audioface, support Audioface in that kind of way, business wise, info at syndicate23.co. Check out the untitled 2022 IF playlist. And thank you, Peter, at Dead Music Productions, Dead Music 666 on Insta. I know a lot of artists right now are looking to get their music mastered, worked on that kind of way. Dead Music Productions, Dead Music 666 on Insta.